Can assist here.
For a long time, many fans believed that Avengers Endgame would be the final chapter for Chris Evans as Steve Rogers. The movie seemed to wrap up his story perfectly, because after years of fighting battles and carrying the weight of being Captain America, Steve finally got the peaceful life he had always missed. Instead of continuing as a hero, he went back in time and stayed with Peggy Carter, allowing himself to experience the life that had been taken away from him decades earlier. At the time, that ending felt definitive. It looked like Marvel had officially closed the book on one of the MCU's most important heroes. But things have changed quite a bit over the last several years, and now Steve Rogers is once again becoming a major topic of discussion. Since Endgame was released, Chris Evans has already returned to Marvel in a surprising way by appearing as the Human Torch in Deadpool and Wolverine. On top of that, Marvel confirmed that he will also return in Avengers Doomsday. Footage and promotional material have already shown Evans back as a younger Steve Rogers, and fans even got a glimpse of an MCU child connected to him, though Marvel still hasn't officially revealed many details about that storyline. Now, another major update has arrived because Chris Evans has confirmed that he will also appear in Avengers Secret Wars. That means audiences will be seeing much more of Steve Rogers over the next couple of years. But although many fans are excited simply because Evans is returning, this latest announcement may also point toward a theory that has been around since Endgame nearly 8 years ago, finally becoming reality. Back when Endgame was approaching release, one of the biggest fan theories was that Steve Rogers would sacrifice himself. A lot of people expected Captain America to die saving the universe because it felt like the ultimate conclusion to his journey. Instead, Marvel surprised everyone by letting him survive and retire peacefully. Endgame already delivered that unexpected happy ending, so repeating the exact same outcome again would probably not have the same emotional impact. Audiences have already experienced the surprise of Steve living through what seemed like an impossible situation. So, if Marvel wants to create another unforgettable moment involving Captain America, a heroic sacrifice might now be the strongest option available. In fact, Steve Rogers may have never been more likely to die than he is in Avengers Secret Wars. One reason is that Marvel is entering a completely different stage of storytelling. Secret Wars is expected to be the massive conclusion to the multiverse saga, and huge crossover events often require major emotional moments. A character as beloved as Captain America sacrificing himself to save reality would certainly deliver that kind of impact. There is also the possibility that the Steve Rogers appearing in these upcoming films is not even the exact same version from the main MCU timeline. Many fans believe he could be a multiversal variant. If that turns out to be true, Marvel would have even more freedom to tell a dramatic story without undoing the ending that Endgame gave to the original Steve Rogers. That scenario would allow Old Man Steve from Endgame to exist somewhere in the timeline, while another version of Captain America faces a heroic fate during Secret Wars. Because of that, Marvel could preserve the emotional ending from 2019 while still giving audiences the dramatic sacrifice they once expected. Another reason this theory feels more believable now is because Marvel may eventually need a permanent conclusion for Chris Evans' version of Captain America. Even if future stories continue exploring the multiverse, there comes a point where the franchise has to move forward. As long as Steve Rogers remains alive somewhere, fans will continue wondering whether Evans could return again. But a meaningful death or a reality-changing ending during Secret Wars could finally provide a clear conclusion to that chapter of MCU history. Although it would be sad for many longtime viewers, it would also serve several important purposes. It could create one of the most emotional moments in Marvel history, give one of the franchise's greatest heroes a memorable farewell, and allow the MCU to move into its next era with a clean slate. That clean slate may be particularly important right now. Ever since Endgame, Marvel has faced a number of challenges. The studio had ambitious plans for the future, but the global pandemic changed the entertainment industry in ways nobody could have predicted. Release schedules shifted, projects moved around, and long-term plans had to be adjusted. Because of that, Secret Wars seems positioned to act as a fresh starting point for the franchise. Whether that requires the loss of Steve Rogers or several other major characters remains unknown, but many fans expect significant changes by the time the film ends. Meanwhile, the Russo brothers are already hard at work preparing for that massive event. In a recent interview, Anthony and Joe Russo discussed their progress on Secret Wars and revealed that they are currently deep into pre-production. According to them, they enjoy handling multiple aspects of development at the same time, which means work is already moving forward on the final film of the multiverse saga. At the same time, they are still finishing Avengers Doomsday. The directors explain that they continue working on the movie and expect to remain involved until the project is essentially taken out of their hands so other teams can complete the final stages of post-production. The Russos also address their future with Marvel after Secret Wars. At the moment, they do not have any officially announced MCU projects planned beyond 2027. They explained that Doomsday and Secret Wars are designed to work together as one complete story. In their view, the two films form a single narrative experience that reaches a full conclusion. That doesn't necessarily mean they will never return to Marvel again, though. The directors simply emphasized that their current focus is entirely on finishing these two movies. Even though they may step away after Secret Wars, their history with Marvel is already incredibly important. They first made a huge impact by directing Captain America: The Winter Soldier, a film that many fans still consider one of the MCU's strongest entries. They followed that up with Captain America: Civil War, which successfully brought together a large collection of heroes while still telling a personal story. Both films were so successful that Marvel trusted them with Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame. Those movies became two of the biggest superhero films ever made and helped define an entire era of the franchise. Looking ahead, Secret Wars is expected to feature an enormous cast. One of the biggest returning names is Robert Downey Jr., who will play Dr. Doom after making his full debut in Avengers Doomsday. Marvel remains extremely secretive about many of the characters appearing in the film, but several actors have already confirmed their involvement. One of them is Letitia Wright. The actress recently revealed that she has completed work on Doomsday and will soon move on to filming Secret Wars. That confirmation guarantees that Shuri will continue playing an important role in Marvel's upcoming crossover events. There is also growing speculation about several other familiar heroes. Vision remains one of the most talked about possibilities because Paul Bettany is returning to the MCU in the upcoming Vision Quest series. The actor has hinted that Vision could appear in Secret Wars as well, although Marvel has not officially confirmed anything yet. Before Secret Wars arrives, however, Marvel still has several major projects on the way. One of the biggest is Spider-Man: Brand New Day, which will bring Tom Holland back as Peter Parker. Fans are eager to see where Peter's story goes next after the emotional ending of No Way Home. Interestingly, Marvel has still not revealed whether Spider-Man will play a role in Doomsday or Secret Wars. Given how important the character is, many fans expect him to appear eventually, but for now his involvement remains uncertain. On the television side, Vision Quest is scheduled to arrive on Disney Plus and will continue Vision's story after the events of WandaVision. The series is one of Marvel's most anticipated upcoming projects because it brings back a character who has remained a fan favorite for years. With all these pieces coming together, Secret Wars is shaping up to be one of the biggest MCU events ever attempted. And because Chris Evans is now confirmed to appear in both Doomsday and Secret Wars, the possibility of Captain America finally receiving the sacrifice fans predicted all the way back in 2019 feels more realistic than ever. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.